Hey guys, so this is an aluminum pan and I sprayed it earlier with a very diluted version of Extra Tough. This has 1 tablespoon of Extra Tough into 30 ounces of water, and I just wanted to kind of see what it would do to the pan. It did brighten some of the stains that were on here, but it didn't like discolor the pan. So what I want to try to do is try different dilution ratios on this to see what Extra Tough would do to what I would call a very cheap version of aluminum. This is the type of aluminum that you cook with, and so they don't put any type of protective coatings and things like that into it. And this is why when you bake, right, it just looks horrible. Look at it. So this is not meant to stay pretty looking. It's just really cheap junk aluminum, really. So in this bottle right here, okay, I call this my stainless steel cleaner. This is 1 tablespoon of Extra Tough to 32 ounces of water. So 32 ounces. So I'm gonna spray this on this side, okay? This is Extra Tough. This is the dilution ratio that I showed you guys online the other day. This is my 15:1. So I'm going to spray this in the middle, and I just want to see what a 15:1 would actually do to the aluminum. Okay. And then here is my 7:1. I typically don't use Extra Tough higher than 7:1 for myself personally. Every once in a while I will use something heavier than this if needed, but it's not often in my own personal life. So we're going to spray that with a 7:1. And what I want to see is what happens to the pan. Does it get a reaction with the aluminum at these low dilution ratios? Typically, if you put Extra Tough full strength on an aluminum pan like this, you would see a little bit of bubbling that would happen. And I don't see bubbling. I see bubbles from the actual Extra Tough, because that's just what it does, but I don't see it reacting with it and bubbling. So there's a difference. So I wanted to see if it would discolor this aluminum at these dilution ratios, or brighten it, or spotting it, or whatever, spot it. Again, that was a 7:1. So that means there's a half a cup of Extra Tough into 28 ounces of water. Okay, so that would be a 7:1. This is a 15:1, okay, and that is my 1 tablespoon to 32 ounces of water. I just had a delivery. All right, so I'm going to take my scrubby pad here, okay, and I'm going to scrub this just to see if the Extra Tough itself damages the aluminum. I don't think it's going to damage the aluminum. Never seen it damage aluminum. I have seen it at full strength, either spotting or brighten, or sometimes it actually makes the aluminum look better. If you had a highly polished aluminum piece, I probably wouldn't recommend it, just because it would spot it, and the idea that it would make it brighter, or it would take that portion that you sprayed and brighten it compared to the other portions of it. I'm gonna scrub it really good here. Kind of mixed them all together now, but so as you see, as we're looking at this pan, I don't really see anything that I would call spotting on this aluminum. I would recommend, just because they have on the website that it will spot or brighten aluminum, if you decide to use it on aluminum that's not aluminum coated, right? Like a clear coat aluminum, I think is fine. But a raw, cheap aluminum like this, okay? So we're gonna take this over to the sink. Actually, I'm just gonna take my towel. It's hard for me to do this with one hand. Just wipe this off. So there you go. I'll let you be the judge. I don't really see a difference. Here's the other side of the pan. We'll just take 7-to-1, which is a stronger version of the extra tough, and we'll see what it does to the other side of the pan. I'll spray it really, really well because we want to get a good experiment here. I'm all about experimenting. This is how you find out things, right? I do like to use the extra tough to clean my gas top stove over here. I just cleaned it a while ago. I did another video on it. See how beautiful it looks? I like to do the 1 tablespoon to 30 ounces of water because it just leaves a very non-streaky look, and it will actually take the baked on food and it will get underneath it and will lift it up and make it a lot easier to clean. I use that same dilution to clean my stainless. This is how pretty that is. I just did that in a video a few minutes ago. But this is aluminum, really cheap aluminum. Okay. And I just want to see what it would do. So this has been sitting here for, I don't know, at least a minute, wouldn't you think? Let's go over to the sink. And then we're going to wash this out here. And then you can go back to the first part of the video and make a decision for yourself on whether or not you think it changed the color of the aluminum at this low of a dilution ratio. I've never done this experiment before. I'm really curious as to what will happen. So there we are. I'm going to closer up. It's pretty marred up before. No, I'm feeling pretty confident about the 7-to-1. Showing a different light here. Oop. Put water on my floors there. So that's a 7-to-1. That's typically what I use as a car soap for whatever, really. My go-to for my personal cleaning of my house is less than that, but for really, really dirty things, that's what I use is a 7-to-1 or a 15-to-1 for like upholstery if I'm cleaning upholstery. Okay. So here we are. That was 15-to-1. That's my stainless steel version, so that's 1 tablespoon of 32 ounces of water. And that was my 7-to-1, and that's what it did to aluminum. In my opinion, it didn't change the color. And that's what I wanted to see, is would it change the color at that dilution ratio. Okay, I hope this helps.